I never told my best friend I wasn't there the night her brother died because I lied and said I tried to stop him from driving because that's what she needed to hear, but the truth is I chose to stay at that party and I'll never forgive myself for wanting one more hour of freedom over his life. I've been carrying this for almost 10 years. I don't talk about it. I smile when she brings him up. I nod when her mom sends me those "you were such a good friend to him" messages. But if I'm being honest, I don't think I deserve any of it. We were 17. Still in that weird space between being kids and pretending to be adults. That summer was the first time I felt like I had real freedom. We were all driving by then, sneaking into parties, staying out late. It felt like life was finally beginning. Like we had made it through something. It was a Friday night in late August. Her brother, Jamie, had agreed to drive us to this party outside of town. It wasn't anything special, just some older kids throwing a last hurrah before school started. I didn't even want to go at first, but Nicole was pushing hard. She had a thing for one of the seniors and she dragged me into it. Jamie didn't usually come to parties. He wasn't really that kind of guy. He kept to himself mostly, worked at the grocery store down by the highway, fixed up his car on weekends. But that night he came. Not for the party. For us. He picked us up around 8:30. I remember he had just finished work and still had his name tag on. His hair was messy and he looked exhausted. I asked if he was okay and he just said, "Yeah, just tired." The party was about 20 minutes outside of Tulsa, near Coweta. It was one of those big country houses with a long gravel driveway and not enough streetlights. When we pulled up, there were already cars packed in the yard. Music was blasting from the garage. Kids drinking, laughing, making out in corners. Jamie parked and said, "Call me if you want to leave early. Otherwise, I'll hang out for a bit." We went inside. At first, it was the usual chaos. Cheap beer, too many people in one room, sticky floors. Nicole found her guy and disappeared. I wandered around, not really talking to anyone. I saw Jamie a few times, standing near the back porch, talking to someone from his auto class. He wasn't drinking, just holding a can, probably for appearances. I ended up outside, sitting by the pool. That's when he came up to me. I remember exactly what he said. "You good?" "Yeah," I said. "Just needed air." He stood there for a second, then said, "I'm thinking of heading back soon. You coming?" I looked up at him. His eyes were tired. There was this weight on him. Like he already knew the night was done, but was waiting for me to say it too. I don't know why I said what I said. Maybe in a bit. I kind of want to stay longer. He looked at me for a moment. Not annoyed. Not angry. Just disappointed. He nodded slowly. "All right. I'll catch you later then. Be safe." That was it. He walked away and I didn't follow. I didn't stop him. I didn't ask if he was too tired to drive. I didn't think twice. I went back inside. Found Nicole. Took another drink. Laughed at some dumb story someone told me. I told myself I deserved it, just one more hour. Just a little more time to be free. He died 40 minutes later. Somewhere between the party and the on-ramp to Highway 51. I found out the next morning. Nicole texted me before I was even awake. I opened my phone and saw, "Jamie's gone. Car crash." Oh my God. I remember sitting up in bed, heart pounding, staring at the screen like maybe it would change if I kept blinking. But it didn't. I went downstairs, told my mom. She hugged me. I started crying, but not for the right reason. I cried because I knew what I had to do next. I had to lie. That same morning, I went to my best friend's house. Her mom opened the door and pulled me in like family. They were all there, neighbors, cousins, everyone. The grief in that house felt like it was pressing down on the furniture. She saw me, stood up from the couch and said, "Were you with him? You were with him, right?" I nodded. "I tried to stop him," I said. "He said he was fine." I thought he was okay." She started crying again. Fell into me, sobbing, saying at least he wasn't alone. At least someone was there. That sentence has never stopped echoing in my head. Everyone believed me. No one asked more questions. Why would they? I was her best friend. He had picked me up. We came together. Of course I was with him. Why wouldn't I be? So I just kept the lie going. A few days after the funeral, her mom called me. Said she had something for me. I went over that evening. The house was quiet. Her dad was in the garage, probably just trying to stay busy. My best friend, I'll call her Megan, was upstairs, asleep, or pretending to be. Grief makes you tired in a different kind of way. Her mom handed me a small envelope. "I found this in his room," she said. "It's not much, but I thought you should have it." Inside was a photograph. Me, Megan, and Jamie at the lake from 2 summers back. I had forgotten he even took it. We looked so young, carefree. He'd written something on the back in black pen. "Thanks for always being kind to me. Take care of her if I'm ever not around." I don't think she knew what it said. She hadn't flipped it over. I did, alone in my car later that night, and my whole body went cold. It felt like a goodbye. Or a warning. Or something else I couldn't understand. And it made the guilt worse. Because I didn't take care of her. Not the way he would have wanted. I became this walking shell of a person, saying all the right things and avoiding every conversation that might reveal the truth. 3 weeks after he died, Megan asked me to come over. We sat on her bed, going through some of his things. Old notebooks, CDs, a baseball glove he hadn't used in years. Out of nowhere, she said, "Do you think he knew?" "Knew what?" "That something bad was coming." That night, he looked off. Like really off. "Did he say anything?" I froze. My mouth went dry. And then I lied again. "He just said he was tired. That's all." She nodded, slowly. "Yeah, I just keep thinking, if someone had just made him stay, you know?" I nodded. But my throat was burning. That was the moment I almost told her. I almost said, I wasn't with him. I didn't try to stop him. I wanted to stay, but I didn't. Instead, I said something even worse. "He told me he felt lucky to have you as a sister." She started crying again, and I just held her. From that day on, I became part of their story. The brave friend who was with him. The one who tried. The one who knew him best. But the lie grew roots. I couldn't back out anymore. 6 months later, I got invited to speak at a memorial event for Jamie at school. Megan's mom asked me directly, "You were there. You knew him. Say something." I stood in front of 50 people in the school auditorium and told a made-up story about how Jamie had warned me not to take life for granted. How he was the kind of person who always thought about others. How, in his final moments, he had told me to look after Megan. People cried. Someone clapped. And I wanted to throw up. Afterward, Megan hugged me and said, "That was perfect. Thank you for remembering him the way he was." I didn't sleep that night. Something started changing between us after that. I think the weight of the lies started leaking out of me in ways I didn't notice. I got quiet. Avoided certain places. Pulled back when she brought up his name. She asked me once if something was wrong. "You seem far," she said. I told her I was just tired. The same word Jamie had used that night. About a year after Jamie's death, Megan and I started drifting in ways we couldn't name. We still talked, still hung out, but something between us felt brittle. Like one of those old Christmas ornaments you handle too carefully, because you know even one wrong move could shatter it. She started dating someone, a guy from her college orientation group. He was nice, quiet, looked a little like Jamie, which maybe wasn't a coincidence. I didn't say much about him. I didn't say much about anything anymore. Every time I opened my mouth around her, it felt like I was pulling the lie further apart just by breathing. Then, one night, I got a text from Nicole. It had been months since I talked to her. We weren't close anymore after that summer. Not because of the accident, just because I couldn't stand to be around anyone who'd seen me that night. Who might remember what I really did? Her message was short, "Hey." I ran into Megan. She asked me something weird. "Call me." I called. She asked if we were with Jamie when he left the party. I went quiet. "What did you say?" I told her we weren't, that he left alone. She didn't say anything after that. Just got really quiet. My chest started burning. "Did you tell her I stayed?" "No." I didn't know what to say. "I thought you had already told her." I hung up and stared at my bedroom wall for what felt like hours. I thought about calling Megan, about coming clean. But something in me knew it was already too late. She knew. Or she was starting to. A few days later, she sent me a message. It was just one sentence. "Was there something you didn't tell me?" I stared at it for a long time. My fingers hovered over the screen. I typed. Deleted. Typed again. I must have written a dozen different versions of the truth. And then I did what I've always done. I lied. "No." "Why?" She didn't reply. That was the last time she reached out. We haven't spoken in almost 3 years. I still see her online. Sometimes she posts old pictures of Jamie. Sometimes she talks about how much she misses him. And every once in a while, I see a photo of her and that guy she's still with. The one who looks just a little too much like her brother. And I wonder if she knows. If she ever sits with that quiet question in her head. Why didn't anyone stop him? Because maybe deep down, she already knows the answer. Maybe she's just choosing not to say it. Or maybe she's waiting for me to be brave enough to say it first. I think about telling her sometimes. Writing it all out and hitting send. Just so it's not mine alone anymore. But I never do. Because no matter how many times I rehearse it, I can't undo what I chose. I stayed at that party. I watched him walk away. And every time she looks at me like I'm the only one who understands what she lost, I realize she's wrong. I'm not mourning him with her. I'm hiding from him, and maybe that's what I deserve. To be the only one who remembers that the last thing I gave him was nothing at all.